Let's give a little piece of history here. So you go back to ancient Egyptian culture.
I love where this is going.
You know, they thought like the sun god, Ra, things of that nature. And they would appropriate it with the hawk, right? You know, the hawk of the desert or the falcon. The wings, the eye in the sky. When you look at modern satellites, they carry the same thing. Big, huge eyeball on the front, whether it's bouncing off, you know, radar, whatever it might be, or visually taking an image. And it's got these big wings, solar panels, and they float around, always watching from above. There's an interesting aspect to this. And I'm just going to make a strange bridge. Did the sun god ever come down and like start telling people what to do? No. It watched from the sky, watch things occur, right?
No, it was the priests that began to get an ego that interpreted that and then said they had that special connection. We have the special connection to God.
Yeah. So we got this interesting article here then. All right, so you're seeing where this is going. How machine learning is helping us fine-tune climate models reach unprecedented detail. Okay. We have this eye in the sky that's watching. And it's putting this stuff back into this climate model, right? And it's outputting all this stuff. You can do that. You can write the Bible, right? You can write the Egyptian Book of the Dead. But unless the information can translate to the common man and help him understand what the eye in the sky sees, the bigger picture, nothing's ever going to change.
No.
So I love the fact that our climate models are becoming more detailed. Unprecedented amount of details. Great. I don't need you to detail more for me how fucked up the climate is. I get it. I just need to find a way to actively translate that to a human being so that they can make a change so that these climate models don't have to become more clear. They already are clear. It's a closed system that's burning up. I don't need the eye in the sky to tell me. I need me to recognize it on the ground. I can look up and say thank you for helping me with the awareness. Eye in the sky, satellite. But I got to tell you, if I don't understand it, if I can't put it into application and see with my own naked eye as a human being that something is actually messed up and that I can fix it, no good will come from it. Do you know, we have these, I was just out in San Francisco and I'm watching a drone, a sea drone, get towed out to sea. They're orange, right? And they got a bunch of sensors on it and stuff. And they look like a buoy with a sail on it. And I'm like, you know, it's all well and good, but I don't need a drone out there to tell me that there's plastic bags over here sitting in the bay. I don't need the drone to tell me that there's significant amounts of consumer waste up on the hill flushing down out to here. I don't need the drone to tell me that when I was just up in Montana, it's the hottest it's been in years and it was 103. I don't need a drone in the sky to show me that as I go by Mount Shasta, there's an entire scorched earth because there's no water over there. It's so dry and the complete thing is burnt to the ground. The beauty of the earth is disappearing. And it's not the earth's fault. It's us abusing certain natures, resources. We're asking too much of a system, okay, to give to us, but we do not respect it in return. And it's burning itself out. And when we don't have those resources, there's no you left. I don't need an eye in the sky or an algorithm to tell me something. It's right here in front of me. The question is, are you going to begin to pay attention to the data that you see every single day, or will you ignore it? Or will you wait for some company to invest more money into a more advanced satellite or to a sea drone to tell you something that you should already be able to see?
Well, people don't realize when we have this high level of carbon dioxide and we get these high temperatures, we don't survive. These guys will.
Plants will.
Yeah. These really tough plants, they'll survive.
Yeah.
And then they'll survive, and then they'll clean up after humans are gone. They'll clean up the earth, and then it'll restabilize back to itself. But humanity's gone.
Yeah.
And then, you know, if the aliens want to come and put another group of peeps, start all over again, that'll be great.
But you don't, there's no point in writing algorithms.
But
for the obvious.
People need to understand that when you have great data that provides information, and what you said, that truthful information should bring awareness.
Right.
And if you're not getting awareness off the data, because we can be a drone company or a satellite company, and we can think that we're helping the earth, and we can just create better satellites. But what have you done to actually help? Yeah, you brought awareness, which is great. That's good. But bringing more awareness, at some point, You have to take the responsibility of that information that you're collecting and do something with it.
Yeah, you're observing outcomes.
Yes.
But you're not taking action on the catalyst that creates the problem which you're watching.
And that's the problem that we have. I'm all for the military industrial complex. I'm great with Lockheed Martin, all them. Make those satellites, do everything
Go
you
ahead.
want. But take that technology, take the technology, make it available to help. Take Lockheed Martin, say, how can we help the planet?
What's so hard about that?
Yeah, we'll build this great new, I got these planes all around here. We'll build these, and all of this technology came and helped humanity. But it's not just in and of itself. It's not a closed system just to be selfish to help you.
Correct.
You can take that technology of that B-2 bomber or whatever, the U-2, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
But you can take the technology that you've learned from that, but it's like, okay, now let's take it to the next level. How can we help humanity with this technology?
Correct.
Because, and even if you want to think ROI and fucking capital, well, now you've just created two, because people will pay, governments, organizations are going to pay for that technology that you have to be able to help the planet.
Yes.
So you can make money that way too.
Yeah.
It just doesn't have to be, how can we blow shit up better?
Yeah. And I just want to be like, stop watching, start doing. The data's right in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
Wake up in the bubble that you're in. I don't frankly care how sacred your river is. It's polluted with fucking trash.
It's not sacred.
It's not sacred.
What makes it sacred?
Yeah.
Ask that question.
Yeah, that's a great question. Do you know what I mean? I don't frankly want to hear about straws and turtles.
Well, what's so funny is GPT-3. It's collecting all the information from the internet, and then it's able to write articles and all that stuff. And it's even able to they're doing small forms of math and stuff like that because it's being able to grab that off the internet. But they were saying that like GPT-5 is just watching what GPT-3 and GPT-4 is doing.
Yeah.
So, and then it's being able to learn even quicker and being able to understand.
So if I have two pieces, if I make two copies of Alex,
yes,
right, send them out. Here's Alex 1, Alex 2, and then Alexander. I'm going to watch these two evolve.
Yes.
And then they'll come back to me, and then I'm going to evolve at a more efficient rate.
That's machine learning.
Because I have two other things testing.
Yes.
Your universe does it all the time.
How long has it been doing it for?
Longer than computers have been around, I'll tell you that. It's all well and good. We can write models all day. Stocks can grow. Awesome. But there has never been greater disparity, right? Greater harm to our climate, greater misunderstanding amongst ourselves than right now. We have a growing population. There's more of us. And we cannot continue to grow in the number of human beings and decrease in the amount of understanding that we have. We cannot create a further spread between things that need resources and lacking the understanding of where those resources come from. That is not a winning algorithm. It is very apparent for us. And I just want people to see that the earth is legitimately on fire around them. And I'm not saying that as a clickbait thing. I've stood in the fires. I've been choked out by the smoke. I've seen the riverbeds dried up. They cease to exist. Life doesn't flow there anymore. Imagine if I pulled the blood out of your body, like pulling water out of the riverways. You die. Your body doesn't move without the current flow of blood, okay? The earth does not flow. Things cease to exist. Life disappears until it starts a very slow process of rebuilding. But unless we wake up and see what's right in front of us and not put our attention into algorithms that are analyzing things from the sky in greater detail to tell us what's so apparently obvious that I can see 50 feet out in front of me, if we do not see the obvious, we are going to find ourselves in the very, very obvious future.
Yeah, and you have one of the statements for TARTLE is your world, your future, your choice. So climate stability is number one on our big seven. How could somebody right now, instead of relying on these satellites or these companies to do this, how can an individual right now help climate stability?
An individual right now can help climate stability. Number one, fill out data packets that help researchers understand your behaviors, your waste patterns, what you plan to do, how you plan to consume resources. That's number one. And then after they've understood it and you've earned money from it, share those earnings towards causes, people that are boots on the ground out there fighting the fires, educating people on these things that are so obvious.
Well, I mean, you were just telling me off air about a not-for-profit that just signed up. Kind of share a little bit about them real quick, because we did a whole episode with them, and then how somebody could donate their data towards them and what it would change.
The Five Gyres Institute just recently listed themselves on TARTLE. They are doing everything they can to educate us on the downstream waste that we are creating in our oceans. And the fact that our oceans, the biodiversity of the ocean, which we suffocate, which with all of our polycarbonates and everything else, all the waste that goes in there, it's not just affecting marine life. It affects our diets and the biological systems that are interlinked with those oceans itself. They're trying to show us and actively clean the ocean at the same time that this is very intricately interlinked. And what looks like it's not in your backyard is directly in your backyard. That the waste created in the United States has a direct effect over people in Indonesia and vice versa. Because the oceans speak to one another, or currents, they feed, they shift things around. And if the commodification of current human development is putting its byproduct of waste in our oceans, our systems that life support us, phytoplankton, all those things that create that fresh oxygen for us, if we kill that off, there's nothing for you to breathe. We cannot share in the benefits of our biological evolution if we have no sturdy, clean foundation for us to step off of. So if you want to do something special, join TARTLE, share some data, and donate those earnings towards the Five Gyres Institute. Help them out, because they're over there making it happen. And you can actively support those that need your help.
So sign up for tartle.co. What does it look like? This will be the last question. We'll close. What does it look like when somebody begins to take responsibility as an individual?
There will be a lift in your spirits. You will feel an air of freedom. You get rewarded for your freedom. You will start to feel how a human being should feel. Unchained, making choices, having autonomy. Great steps towards mental health, understanding of you, and then better understanding of your neighbors and your loved ones. Relationships grow. Systems boom, right? Pain decreases because we're not harming each other emotionally, physically, whatever it be, because we're a better understanding of how people think, walk, talk, and act. But when you start to take that responsibility, you feel that lift. You feel what it's like to step into the true skin of what it means to be a human being. And I encourage you, I challenge you to do that.